Shit. Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So I was listening to Trill Boxing Talk this morning. First time this week I actually had the time to do it. And I didn't listen to the whole show. I think I caught like maybe the last 30 minutes, like 5 minutes before Blue Blood got on, and I listened to it, to the duration of it. And Black Fight Fan and 78 was talking about code and being taken advantage, your blackness being taken advantage of versus supporting black. And 78 made some points about not getting credentials, being fooled, bamboozled. 78, I mean, and I could be wrong, so feel free to chime in. And Black Fight Fan was was saying or alluding to, making a point that he's Black Fight Fan. You understand what I'm saying? Pretty much. And I want to say something, and because I think it's important, I think I can add to this conversation, not in terms of making it a debate, but I believe I can add to it. I'm gonna start with me, and then I'll branch off into making it. I have 25,000 subs, right? I personally believe, this is just my humble guesstimation, I have 25,000 subs because somebody went to, let's say, Cali Enigma's page and was inspired and said, you know what? I like what they're talking about. I'm going to see if there are more channels on there. And they quite possibly didn't go to my channel second. They might have went to my channel fourth. Maybe they went to some other channel and then finally made their way down. So it's like a trickle down method, right? And the point I'm trying to make is that's the same thing with PBC. Now that quote unquote black fighters have a home and a hub, Black Fans has a home and a hub. And because the existence of PBC, I say there's a direct correlation between PBC and the explosion and encouragement of black YouTubers, black media outlets creating their own channels, and more importantly, creating their own content, because everyone is different. Everyone has their own content. Everyone has the right to believe and say what they want. And he made the point, I'm going to talk about the big picture in a second, but he made the point about the credentials. The credentials, I believe, is a token of appreciation, and we all want to be appreciated. I think the validation comes when you have the people consistently coming to your page day in and day out for content. And I think that's the validation. I think the validation, and I've never seen no YouTube channel with the amount of viewership. I think I saw today 700, 600 people. I've never seen that on any one stream with channels 10 times bigger than Black Fight Fan. So I would say that's the validation. The validation is people subscribing. I have a Patreon page. People subscribing to 78's Patreon page. People in their super chat. That's your credential, in my humble opinion. I think the consistent and the growth of the viewership and the galvanizing of the spirit is the credential. The credential is the validation. Like, and I fully grasp and understand, because if I give a man $10 and he only needs $5, I expect him to help me when I need him. And I get that sentiment in terms of, well, we're going above and beyond, right? In our perspective of building, branding, and expanding. Building, branding, and expanding. That has a tone to, I need to patent that. PBC and the black fighters, and more often than not taking the side of the black fighter. Why? Because we're black and we have that spirit. Now I want to go a step further and think about it from a big perspective. The conversation was about Bob Arum, President Obama, Al Heyman not speaking, and 78, 78 and I had a conversation about this. We live by this creed. Once a person show you who they are, believe them. And not to say that Bob Arum has showed us who he was. This conversation isn't about Bob Arum. It's about code, right? The term code. And he talked about President Obama. President Obama was good, not great. We needed him to use the word black. We needed him to say that in the heart of Chicago. We needed him to say that in the heart of Harlem. We needed him to say that in the heart of South LA now. It used to be formerly known as South Central, right? We absolutely needed him to do that. We actually needed him to call out these police officers and not sit down and have a beer with them. And I get all of that. I fully grasp all that. But like I told you guys in the video, I can't replace or forget the inspiration I had the first Tuesday of November 2007. I said 2008. His first day was January 2008 when he was inaugurated. And I was there. I went to President Obama's inauguration. What I want to say, that vessel of inspiration, we can never ever devalue that. And I want to draw that correlation to Al Heyman and the implementation of his plan. And 78 made some great points when he said he's never spoken. How do we know who he is? He's probably in a boardroom with using people with strings. And I'll say this. Coincidentally, I have a Team Watson shirt on today. It was at the top of the laundry. If you ever want to know, in my humble opinion, is look at the representation of PBC. There's only black men in the ring or running the ring, and Sam Watson walks around boxing being himself. You hear him in the interviews. He's black in his interviews. He's 100% black. You have the right to agree or disagree with what he's saying, but his stance, you understand what I'm saying? You have a father and two sons in the ring at all times. You understand what I'm saying? You have a husband and a wife. I don't think this is by accident. I think this is by design. You have a husband and a wife, the king and queen of PBC, who does all the business and all of that. So I think we have a great indicator, in my humble opinion, of what Al Heyman is about. And two, the platform in which he propels the black fighters and Mexican fighters. I mean, he's pro fighter. He attempts to take himself out of the equation, which I think is essential. And I purposely do that in my films. I never put myself in the equation. And you guys know when I do my interviews, I purposely extract myself out of 9 out of 10 questions. I attempt to extract myself. I don't want to make the conversation about me versus him. I want the conversation to be about the topic at hand. You understand what I'm saying? So I think he does an exceptional job at that, because it's that's just who he is. And I think that the code is recognizing the long end of it, right? For example, if I disagree with Black Fight Fan, if I disagree with Town, I see the long end of it. I don't see it as like, oh, this is some hateful, spiteful stuff. Or if I disagree with my kids or my son throws a temper tantrum once every 3 days, or we call it meltdowns. I don't personalize it. I think that's a space for growth, and that's just what I ultimately, vehemently believe in. You understand? The long end of it. The long end of it. The long end of it is The residual success, we will get residual success from PBC being successful, right? I think there's a direct correlation between the LDBC, New Media, Black Media Row, my channel in particular. Once I took a hard stance against Golden Boy, I got more Mexicans subscribing to my channel than ever before. They don't like me either. They don't like me. And it could be black people with Mexican names. I don't know. But the moment I said, fuck Golden Boy, an implosion of Latinos subscribed to my channel. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know if a lot of them like me or don't like me. A lot of them don't comment. Many of them don't comment. But I saw my channel grow and grow and grow. And I also saw a great influx of black fight fans subscribing. No pun intended. A large number of black boxing fans. That sounds better to make it easier on the ears. Subscribe to my channel. I also saw me when I go to Brooklyn. I've gone to DC, I've gone to Dallas, Vegas to cover these fights the past 2 years. And it's immense love. It's immense love. And I think, I genuinely believe this. And I say this from as an optimist. And you guys know I'm an optimist as it relates to black people. I think if y'all did some satellite stuff, like maybe for a fight, you can plan it next year. I'm not telling you when and how to do it. You'll see the magnitude of the mission statement, of the purpose. You'll see an 8-year-old black kid. Oh shit, reminds me of my son. So oh man. You'll see an 8-year-old black kid with his father come up to you and say, that video you did. Woo! Mm. 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 The reason why I'm getting emotional. Mm. 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 Oh man. One, because I went to the Bruno Mars concert with my son last night. I know the importance of a black man in a child's life, but I never. Mm. Mm. I never told you guys this story. I was in Brooklyn for a Shawn Porter fight. And a man my age, 33, 34, 35, somewhere in there. Mm. Told me I inspired him and saved his life. And and that's the long end of this. Oh. Is for us to save our black brothers. And I mean that from the depths of my spirit. I've been emotional the last 12 hours because my father and I never did anything together. And I took a shower last night and I was just crying tears of joy because I took my son to the concert and I saw how much joy he had in him. And I know we disagree on a whole bunch of shit. But I know when a black man is protecting another black man and inspiring and encouraging and building his platform, and it's powerful. And I think it's essential and important that we do that. And I know platforms like my platform, platforms like 78, platform like Black Fight Fan, and I'll just say that Blue Blood was on today, so I'll use him. Dante, who inspired me to start my YouTube channel. People in the comment section, it gives them a voice. Jesse Wyatt is in everyone's comment section, donating money. I see a lot of y'all who disagree with me and eloquently put it in the comment section. It gives us a voice, and I think that's cold. I think that I think that's the long end of it, for us to inspire each other, whether we agree or disagree. 78 said it in this video. You're arguing about music, playing spades, dominoes, and the neighbors think you're actually fighting. That's who we are. And I think our platforms and encouraging other platforms that look like us inspires us to be great. And I think it's important, I think it's essential that we be black. I 1000% believe that. And you guys can hear the compassion in my voice. You know. And I've been emotional, man. I'm telling you, I had an emotional night last night with my son. The joy, I've never had that much joy in my life. Ever in my life. You know? And for a complete stranger to tell me I saved his life. I was in Brooklyn doing a Shawn Porter fight at the Barclay. Barbershop. Man, he hugged me. It was two examples. One man told me he just bought a building. And another man, it was the same weekend. And the next man told me I saved his life. I mean, how does that happen? Like that's our value, man. It's, you don't know, like, I watch a lot of you guys' videos and I don't comment in y'all videos. I don't, because I think it takes away from the mess. I don't, and the reason why I do that, not I'm a ghost watcher, because I don't want to stop your stream of consciousness. If I post in the comment section because we know each other, you say, hey, Fred, what's up, barbershop? I don't want to do that. I don't need or desire that validation. So I like listening to you guys talk. I like to hear your brain. And I think that I really believe this, and I say this from the depths of my spirit. From new YouTube subscribers to old YouTube subscribers like Blood and 78. I think we lose sight because we don't touch the people. I think when we reach out and touch the people, 78, you'll see your value or your validation. It's not in the credential. The validation is in the people we touch. And I'm going to leave this video up so you guys can see my raw emotion. So, you know, I gotta go to work. I gotta go cover Tyson Fury right now. But I get emotional about black men. I didn't have a father. I had a father. obviously. He and I didn't have the greatest relationship. And I want to reach out and touch every black man I can possibly touch. Period. I've been. I'll tell you. I don't know if I ever. I glanced over the story, but I'll tell you this for real. For real. I'll tell you a real story. I let a man borrow $10,000. Right, a mutual friend of ours. Right, and mutual friend of ours. I mean, like boxing family and professional fighters know him. Deontay Wilder knows him. Sam Watson know him. So I'm hanging out with Sam Watson, and the dude owes me $10,000. He didn't pay me. He's made installments since then, but I had to fight him. I'm not saying this for a reason. I'm gonna get to my point. I had to knock the guy out. Right. This was maybe a year ago. Right. To prove my point, because people take kindness for a weakness. But I'll say this: 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you saw on my channel, I hired a black handyman to work. You guys know I have full-time handyman. You guys know this by now. I hired a black handyman because he was black. And I said that to say I could have given up on that black man when he tried to run from me with the $10,000. I never gave up on my black man. Never. Under any circumstance. If that black man betrayed me, he doesn't speak for other black men. I had a man, maybe I'm going to get him to do an interview. I had a black man in the casino. Real nigga. Like, real nigga. Like, being black, you know what a real nigga is. I'm talking about street nigga in a positive term. I'm not gonna let these white people come in and try and manipulate my words. But come up to me and says, man, I love what you do, man. You're real. We follow each other on Instagram, man. I love what you do. You're genuine, man. You understand what I'm saying? I have another gangster. He's a leader of a gang member. He knows I'm up and down his neighborhood, and he says, Fred, black man, he says, Fred, don't come around for a week. We got some stuff to take care of. Come around, I'll call you. I don't come around. You understand? And that's all that needs to be said. So I said all that to say, you can look at the negative side and say, well, it may be something going on in the neighborhood that's out of my control, and it could be black on Mexican, it could be black on black, it could be black versus, I don't know what it is. But he had the audacity to tell a cornball, like in comparison, I'm the cornball guy that went to college and did it the orthodox way, right? But he had the decency to protect me. So I say all that to say, we gotta love and protect each other. Period. And I think 78, and I say this for real, black fight fan, I say this to everyone. Get out and touch the people. Fuck, not fuck that, but these fighters, I say this at least once a week or maybe twice a week in my videos. The boxing is the sugar. The boxing is the sugar. 78, you know boxing is the sugar. You know you got a bigger message. You understand? Black fight fan, it's a bigger message. The bigger message is we got to go out and get these black men. Inspire and encourage our black men and do it together. I don't care what no one say. All we got is us to begin with. In order to be a great man in America, I must first be a great black man. And I can go on and on and on. I got a 15-minute drive. It's 10:18 right now. And I got like a couple more miles to charge this car, but I want to settle in. But I just want to say I love y'all. And I know the struggles and the pain it takes to be a black man in America. I know the struggles it takes to be betrayed by a black man in America. I just told you guys, right? I know the pain. I understand. I feel the pain. But I'll say this. If a prestigious black man betrays me, he doesn't speak for all black men. I'm still going to go out and encourage and inspire. And more importantly, get help. Get more wisdom from black men. You understand? So I don't know it all. I know sometimes in my videos I act like I know it all, but I don't know it all at the end of the day. I'm just sharing what I believe to be true. And, you know, that concert with my son, go to my Instagram and look at my son's face. Go to my Instagram. It's one of my last stories. Click the link in the description box. My Instagram is Silent Heroes. And look at my son's face looking at Bruno Mars. He's not worshiping the God. I know y'all, hurt black people always want to hurt other black people. Hurt people always want to hurt people. I understand all that. It's not about that. But it inspired him. And I've never felt joy like that before. Never in my life. Never in my life. Like when we haven't touched the basketball yet. I'm talking about in terms of playing in the team, anything like that. But when your son makes that 3-pointer you guys are working on in his perfect form, and you're sitting there all by yourself as a proud dad, or he does a perfect job in a recital or an acting job, or you understand. That was my first experience as a father, knowing that I played. Not my first, but you guys get what I'm saying. It was a monumental moment, and knowing your assets, your expertise, your wisdom, your hard work played a huge part in the joy in your child's life. Barbershop conversation. I gotta go. I gotta go catch up with Tyson Fury. So any questions you guys have for Tyson Fury, put it in my DM. And we got to reach out and touch the people. I'm a strong opponent. I don't think Black Fight Fan and 78, none of them was wrong. I don't think none of y'all was wrong. You had the same message, but you was coming from different ends of the spectrum. Like you guys were headed to Dallas Cowboy Stadium. One person was catching the I-10, the other person was catching the 95 from New York, connecting it to somewhere. I don't know the freeways, the interstate freeways. But anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to subscribe, bud. Hopefully my vulnerability inspires y'all to be great. And hug a black person today. All right, hug a black man today. I am adamantly 1,000% all in on my black man. Period. It's not debatable. I'm unwavering on that. That's one thing I will have to die as a black man. So guess what? I might as well live as one. Barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.